Kevin Bass swinging strikes on 3 breaking balls, and the New York Mets have won the 1986 National League pennant. And Jesse Orozco becomes the first winner of 3 games in relief in postseason play. The losing pitcher will be Aurelio Lopez. Bob Knepper can only watch the Mets celebration in the center of the field. When it seemed early on in the day that Bob was on his way to pitching a classic ball game, masterful in performance for 8 1/3 innings. And then the sky fell, and the Mets tied at 3-3. And then they went ahead 5-4. And Houston came back in the 14th inning to tie. And then the Mets came back to go ahead by winning the ball game with that 3-run outburst in the top of this inning. So the struggle is done. Sadness, disappointment, fatigue, you name an element, and it exists on one side or the other. It was Davy Johnson, 13 years in the major league. Davy Johnson in 1969 was the final out for the Baltimore Orioles when the Mets won the World Series. Hal Lanier, from a baseball family. His dad, Max Lanier, an outstanding left-hander in the 40s. Great job in putting this Houston ball club into the hunt when nobody thought they could be at the beginning of the season. But they won a club record 96 games. And they went 16 innings in game number 6 before they lost by a score of 7-6 to the New York Mets, the 1986 National League champions. Here's Tim McCarver.
Well, Keith, I feel that the mood in the clubhouse down here is one of exhaustion. I don't feel like the ball club is in the celebratory mood that I would think a club who just won the National League pennant should be in. And the reason for that is they're exhausted. The first 4 through the clubhouse, Darryl Strawberry, Keith Hernandez, even Davy Johnson, appeared to be totally exhausted. Things are whooping up right now. I think they're getting a second win. And we will try to have some folks up on the platform as soon as they get ready. Most tiring ball game that I have ever been a part of as a fan or as a player.
Well, Houston was in a championship series in 1980 with the Philadelphia Phillies for 5 games. It was memorable. It wore on and on and on. And finally, Philadelphia came from behind to win in the 5th game. In this one, though it only went 6 games, it will surely go down as one of the memorable contests in championship play. Well, they popped the champagne all right. And while they may whoop it up, I'll bet you it doesn't last long, because a struggle like this wears your nerves and your body down to the fine edge. And there is still work to be done, because the World Series is scheduled to open on Saturday. And in just a few minutes, the California Angels and the Boston Red Sox will have at it at Fenway Park in game number 7 to determine which American League team will be going to the World Series. Well, the champagne, the bubbly's in the air, and let's go now to Tim with Davy Johnson.
I am with the manager of the New York Mets, Davy Johnson. Davy, congratulations. Your perseverance, your patience with this young ball club paid off. You took over in 1984. You've increased every year, and this has got to be very, very satisfying for you.
Well, I sure am. I'm really proud of the guys. Today was a real tough day. We were down 3 runs. They fought back. We tied it in the 9th, and you know, it's hard to stay in the game when you're on the road, but they battled and played tough and came back and had the big inning. I'm just really proud of these guys.
You sound like you've lost your voice.
Yeah, I'm not a real good yeller, but I yelled quite a bit there for a while.
Have you ever seen a ball game like that, not only in post-game play, and you played the 16-13 game in Atlanta last July 4th. Does that compare with this one?
No doubt about it. This one, you know, you're on pins and needles to begin with because of the pressure of the game, but to go 15 innings or how many ever it went, the guys to stay in there and really battle it, I'm proud of them, really.
Were you ever this happy as a player?
No, Timmy, because I got 24 guys that I feel a little bit responsible for, and to see them do what they just accomplished, it really makes me feel good.
Davey Johnson, the manager of the New York Mets. Congratulations, Davey.
Thanks a lot, Timmy.
Davey's going to get with the celebration here in the clubhouse. Now let's go back to Keith Jackson. Keith?
All right, Tim. Again, your final score is 7-6. The Mets win, but don't for a moment in any sense doubt the character and quality of this Houston ball club. It was 7-4 going into the bottom of the 16th inning, and they fought back and had the tying run at second base and the winning run on first base, and just missed. Again, Tim.
Keith, one of the key hits in the ball game, of course, a triple by Len Dykstra off of Bob Nepper. And the important thing about that hit, Lenny, a lot of big hits come with men on base. Yours, it seemed like it was an eye-opener for the Mets.
Well, I'll tell you what, Nepper was throwing a great ball game. He kept us stale the whole ball game, and, the ninth inning got a spark, and that's all I think we need, to catch a little spark, catch a little fire, and we ignited from there, and it was, a great win. It shows the character of the ball club all year.
In Game 3, you had a 2-run homer against Dave Smith, and you said that it was the first home run since your home run in Stratomatic. Have you had any other thrills other than Stratomatic that can compare with this?
I'll tell you what, this is the biggest. My first real full year in the major leagues, and to come and win the pennant, and we're going to the World Series, it's been a total team effort, and that's why we're doing it, because of the team. We've had great pitching. We've just had great efforts by everyone, and that's what it takes to win.
Of course, you realize what you did today. You didn't start against a left-hander, but you pitch hit against a left-hander, and that left-hander had only allowed 3 base runners through the first 8 innings.
Well, Bob Nepper's real tough. He's a tough man on a left-hander, and Davey, he's been using everyone. He keeps everyone sharp. He's been using Mitchell, so he brings me in late, and knowing that they don't have a left-hander in the bullpen, a real stopper left-hander in the bullpen, they're going to bring a right-hander in, so it plays into his hand, so I'm ready to get against the right-hander. So I think, left-handers, I can get on base, and fortunately I was able to start something today.
Lenny Dykstra, one of the stars of the games for the New York Mets, as the Mets win 7-6. Let's go back to Keith Jackson. Keith?
This National League Championship Series has been brought to you on ABC by the Heartbeat of America, today's Chevrolet. By Bud Light, everything else is just a light. By Bic, for normal or sensitive skin, an extraordinary shave at an extraordinary price. And by IBM, and the growing family of IBM personal computers. It takes a lot of people to do what has been done over the last few days. Our engineering people have done a job for us that we are proud of, and we'd like you to see their names, all those involved. The production staff headed by our producer Peter Lasser, directed by Craig Janoff. Our technical directors, Rich Gelber, John Fider, Chet Mazurik,